This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're here today with Cameron Clark, the Chief Strategy and Business Development Officer of Hornblower Group, to discuss how this iconic brand has weathered the recent COVID storm and positioned itself to come out stronger on the other side. Cam, to start, can you give us a by-the-numbers look at Hornblower Group today using the metrics of your choice?
Hi, Greg. First off, thanks for allowing me to be here with you today. I've enjoyed our chats in the past and look forward to speaking with you and sharing more about Hornblower today. So to answer your question, we've been really a brand of 25 plus brands and 100 years in the making of just being passionate about creating amazing experiences for our guests. More specifically, our footprint now is crossing over 111 countries and territories, 125 US cities. And this covers not just water-based experiences, but actually we've evolved during COVID into a land-based experiences company as well. But bringing it back to boats, we do operate over 220 vessels. And in 2019, we served over 35 million passenger trips. This comes across our ferry operations under City Ferry now. We operate the ferry system for the city of New York under NYC Ferry. During COVID, we've expanded into Puerto Rico and serving the government of Puerto Rico now in their ferry system, as well as other municipal ferry systems across principally here in the United States. Under our water-based experience division, City Cruises, we operate now out to Statue of Liberty and Alcatraz, Niagara Falls, and all the way across the pond to London with the brand there, London City Cruises, which was an acquisition in 2019 of ours just before COVID really changed a lot of our business and industry. Furthermore, to talk about our overnight cruise division, we operate the American Queen and Victory Cruise Lines. We have 8 vessels there now, serving not only river-based cruising, but guests on coastal cruising to the Great Lakes, as well as expedition-style cruising, which was set to launch in 2021, still up in the air based upon some government closures, regulations, and timing. But we have 2 vessels that will be serving that expedition-style cruising here, nevertheless, at some point in the near future. And finally, I have to mention just a little bit about the numbers as it relates to us also serving our other broader transportation services division for municipal clients, both at the state, federal level as well.
Cam, as you know, unfortunately today we're still talking about COVID, but fortunately there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Can you discuss how COVID has materially impacted Hornblower to date?
We had nearly 200 vessels at spots around the world that overnight effectively were tied to the dock. That being said, putting my engineering hat back on for a second here, the law of momentum, things at rest tend to stay at rest, things in motion tend to stay at motion. So we had a choice as a business to just wait for this all to pass us by, or how do we take a proactive approach to managing and coming out and working through COVID? So we took the proactive approach from not only rebranding, consolidating websites, to changing infrastructure within our ticketing platforms and reservation systems. We have a dedicated software engineering team based in Los Angeles, California, Encore Studios, that used this opportunity to take our platform now and integrate it across all of our business units, enhancing our ability to offer better contactless solutions for our guests boarding vessels. In order to be able to know and have confidence coming out of COVID and trusting our services even further. Likewise, in the midst of this struggle and what I'll call the pandemic struggles overall, we took advantage of saying, how do we bring other businesses into the mix to better support our business and offering for our guests coming out of COVID? So acquisitions have been 5 in the past 9 months alone. So we'll continue to work now with our government and local officials to bring back business. We made an announcement with American Queen and Victory Cruise Lines that of July 1st, all guests, all crew will be vaccinated to be on board. That's helping us bring more cruises back to get more trips underway. Now working with folks in DC and the Canadian government to continue to bring back our ocean-going near coastal cruises to the Canadian waters as soon as possible as well.
Inherently in any business, particularly in the marine business, mitigating risk is a part of your daily existence. Yeah. Can you put in perspective this business disruption event compared to any other that you've seen in your career?
Sure. So I've been at Hornblower now gosh, on my second tour of duty here now, over 17 years. And so we've experienced economic changes. And I can tell you, we've looked back into our corporate culture and history and looked at, the terrorist attacks of 9/11 and the impact of this business. Most events that we've experienced have been localized or regional events. National, maybe you can tie to economic cycles, but this is really the first time that we've seen something from an international basis in our lifetime that's had this global impact in changing the timing and operations of a business. That being said, the great thing is, and I'm not just the optimist here, Greg. I know at times I can be accused of that, but it's also allowing us to change people's perspective, how they want to travel, how they want to use technology. People have found a newfound passion for experiences with others, spending time with family and friends. And so I think it has changed. And I'm not saying we're out of the weeds yet, or we're not without further curves and twists, but the future is bright. And unlike other impacts and things that we've experienced in the past, people, are coming together. We're finding solutions, and I expect that the future will be bright. The next 12 to 24 months will continue to be growing out of this, but I think we'll really be looking back and be able to reflect and see some great changes as a society and an industry in the future.
So Cam, I'm sure, as you said, overnight you went to your fleet being tied up at docks.
Yeah.
So let's turn attention now specifically to your maritime operations. What do you see as the biggest challenge to getting your fleets back operating fully from a technical and vessel standpoint?
Well, from a technical and vessel perspective, we were really fortunate that we were able to maintain crews throughout the pandemic, to maintain our fleet, to keep vessels up and operationally ready. We've also used that time to invest in our Safe Cruise program, to further invest in training and programs and protocols to ensure that coming out of COVID, albeit not necessarily a technical nature, I'll qualify it as that in terms of ensuring that our HSSQE team is prepared to make sure that as guests return, as vessels go operational, we are capable and ready to be able to support that demand. At the same time, we've also continued to deliver on some vessels. So we've made some changes to a few of our ferries to add some added technical things from a COVID protocol perspective. One of the vessels we're completing right now on behalf of Switch Maritime at All American Marine, the first zero emission hydrogen powered ferry. We're the contract managers and overseeing that project for them. We've actually added different seating configurations as well to improve upon the vessel from a technical nature. And so we've been aligning brands to help better communicate, that these vessels that are coming out are, backed by the City Cruises brand, as well as other technical things. But optimistic that from a technical perspective, we're in good shape, great training systems, and we've been able to keep our fleet operationally ready through COVID.
Same question as before, but what do you see as the biggest challenge in regards to personnel and crew to get back operating full steam?
I wish that one was as easy to solve. Our team is out there. We are actively recruiting. I think the law has changed some mindsets for certain folks of, what's important to them and what they want to do. At the same time, while I'm optimistic, we will get there with crew. We are struggling right now. We're running career fairs. We're running, programs and incentives to build excitement to why you want to participate in this space, in this industry. I know we will get there. We've just added new personnel in New York for our ferry operations, in Puerto Rico for our ferry operations there. And so we will get there. I think it's going to change some business mindset to how you recruit. It's changing incentives and packages and offerings that we're making available to crew upon start date. But within the maritime space, as you're bringing new people in, there's a big training component. So the onboarding time is taking some time, making sure that people are properly trained, understand their job duties, their roles, responsibilities.
I understand with particular interest that you're expanding your consulting and your operational services. What exactly is the new area of service for the maritime industry that you'll be offering?
Yeah. So listen, we've got a long history and experience of offering our services internally to ourselves, be it planning services, design services, construction management, having built a fleet of 38 vessels over the past, I guess about in 4-year period for the city of New York. Likewise, developing technologies and platforms, bringing environmental solutions forward with the first all-electric ferry in Gee's Bend, overseeing and supporting now, Switch with delivering the first hydrogen-powered vessel. Even during COVID, we've delivered on 2 all-electric vessels for the city, for San Francisco to run out to Alcatraz. So what we've taken a step back and said, we know that we can add value in planning, design, construction management, finance, as well as operations, and being able to provide that turnkey solution for a municipality or for a private operator coming in and trusting they have an operator that knows operations, yet has the skill set of planning. We have a dedicated in-house doctorate who's a director of hydrogen technology. We have naval arc systems engineers, electrical engineers that we do believe can add value for others in this space. So one of the things, Greg, that we've always asked ourselves is, can we add value? Can we create amazing experiences? And we believe that we truly can, not only in running vessels, but in this space as well. So we've taken down a long-term lease in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where we have a yard to not only service our fleet, about 152 vessels in the Northeast corridor, but also others. And in doing so, we do believe that it's something that's an exciting way for us to take those technical things forward. Part of that also is our technical solutions and our operating tools that we've been building for ourselves. So kind of on the friends and family type basis, we've actually had folks coming to us. What are you doing to run your business? How are you handling your health and safety, non-conformities and opportunities for improvement? And we've built a suite of tools to handle ticketing and operational needs that we've started to make available for others as well. So we're just candidly formalizing it and making sure that others are aware that these same planning and design and technical tool sets that we're using, we can make available for them as well.
So with your traditional areas of service and these new areas of service coming out of COVID, what are your operational priorities to get back to business as usual?
Sure. So first and foremost, operational priorities are always health and safety. That first and foremost, nobody goes on a boat ride or an overnight cruise and gets hurt and comes back and says it was an amazing experience. So first and foremost, that's our key to operational success. Behind that, it's working with others, deriving great partnerships with other operators, municipalities as we're moving into various ports to operate and drive that safely. But behind that, it's marketing. It's creating an understanding for people right now that they don't have to go overseas. They don't have to go abroad. There's great experiences right here close to home. There's great new transportation methods that maybe they hadn't thought of before. I used to take the bus. I used to take the subway. I used to drive my own car. Well, traffic is going to be gnarly coming out of COVID as people are not wanting to ride some of the traditional other forms of municipal transit. Ferries are going to be a great solution for those folks. So a lot's being tied, Greg, to sales, marketing, and communicating to people the options that are available to them, be it transportation solutions or experiences close to home.
Specifically with the new offering, where do you see opportunity? By market niche, by geography, or by both?
Yeah. Well, listen, Greg, we are working really hard to deliver on our strategy of becoming a global experiences and transportation leader. So we've got the world as our canvas. I think you're going to continue to see operational focus on the transportation front. And I think looking for integrated transit solutions that provide that turnkey offering for a municipality, both on the technical nature, the design planning nature, and operations nature, being able to be provided to a municipality. So within that space, really excited of what's to come there. Keeping it focused to the maritime operators, while the world is our oyster with a lot of great things happening in the guided tour space of walking tours and other experiences internationally. On the maritime front, we're really excited to continue to see, I think, an evolution of green tech becoming more prevalent. It's tangible, it's real, it's available today. And I think you're starting to see some regulatory changes across the country that's actually looking for some of that to be more prevalent. So whether that's selective catalytic reduction units in tier 4 or folks looking to move into a hybrid space, from a technical nature, I think we'll continue to see that. And last but not least, just more ferries. I think that's something coming out of this with traffic's going to increase. There's going to be more demand on finding alternate solutions. I think we're really in a renaissance here the next decade or so when it comes to ferry transportation.
Cam, as always, I appreciate your time. I look forward to talking to you further as your business comes back in 2021 and far beyond.
Wonderful, Greg. Thank you so much and look forward to talking to you again soon.